Good evening, everyone. I am Pauline J.C. Bisnar, a student of VetMed 529A, Aquaculture, and Aquatic Medicine. I'll be presenting our report for today, which is feeds and feeding management. For the contents of the report, we have the introduction, the categories, basics, feeds, feeding management, feed formulation, strategies, procedures, computations, stock sampling, and growth and condition. For the introduction, fish feeds are crucial for the growth and health of farmed fish, affecting the productivity, profitability, and sustainability of aquaculture. Recent advancements in fish feed formulation, processing, and delivery have resulted in various types of feeds, including live, fresh, processed, and formulated feeds, each with its own advantages and drawbacks. As the aquaculture industry grows, developing innovative fish feed technologies will be crucial for optimizing fish growth and health while minimizing environmental impact. Next, we will be tackling what are feeds and what is feeding management. Feeds are any substance or byproduct resulting in additives, whether processed, partially processed, or unprocessed, intended to be used for oral feeding in fish culture systems producing fish for human and animal consumption. It is generally accepted that the highest recurring cost in aquaculture comes from feeds. It is a major expenditure for fish farmers. Alone, it accounts for about 60 to 80% of operational cost in intensive aquaculture, while feed and fertilizers represent about 30 to 60% of the total cost of aquaculture production in semi-intensive aquaculture systems. Cultured fish are often overfed because of the farmer's perception that more feed will produce more fish without looking at its proper utilization. Next, we will tackle about feed management. Feed management in aquaculture refers to the process of providing appropriate and optimal nutrition to aquatic animals such as fish, crustaceans, and mollusks. This involves managing the type of quality, quantity, and frequency of feeding to ensure that the best growth, health, and productivity of the aquatic animals. Feed management in aquaculture involves several key activities including feed formulation, feeding schedules, feeding rates, monitoring feeding behavior, and water quality management. What is feed formulation? Feed formulation involves designing a nutritionally balanced diet for the specific species being raised, taking into account their life stage, size, and growth rate. Feeding schedule establishes a feeding schedule based on the specific species and their needs to ensure that they receive the necessary amount of food without wasting feed. Next, we have the feeding rates. It is the amount of feed to be provided and should be calculated based on their species, age, and their expected growth rate. Monitoring feeding behavior is the observing of the feeding behavior of aquatic animals that will help us to determine if the feeding schedule and feeding rate are appropriate. It also enables early detection of potential health problems. Lastly, we have water quality management. Ensuring good water quality is important to prevent feed waste and ensure that the aquatic animals can effectively digest their food. Overall, effective feed management is crucial to the success of any aquaculture operation. It helps us to ensure that the animals receive the nutrition that they need to thrive while also reducing waste and minimizing the environmental impact of the operation.